And welcome to Executive Summit of Executive Life Magazine. My name is Chris Caputo. I'm going to be your host. And let's welcome Jeremy Rusco. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Thanks for having me today.
All right. So here we are. You are the founder and owner of Dynamic Discs. A little bit of information I've got here from your website. Dynamic Discs was founded in March of 2005. It's emerged from a large field of competitors with hard work, creativity, and exceptional customer service. Now, your mission at Dynamic Disc is to achieve customer satisfaction through excellence in design, innovation, distribution, and customer service solutions. Through your culture, drive, and expertise of each individual employee, they are uniquely positioned to provide first-class services to a diverse consumer base. They are committed to offering undisputed marketplace leadership as well as attracting, developing, and maintaining a diverse workforce that reflects the nature of their business. They strive to be the leaders in every market they serve to the benefit of their customers. That's awesome.
Basically, we are just awesome.
Yeah, you're just awesome. A lot of awesome sauce. That's
There's
fantastic.
too much there. It's just summarize it.
And you'll have to forgive me. I'm still, with the rest of the United States in a big chill right now, I'm not going to be as fluid with but you and I will work with that. I'm not contagious, so you'll be okay.
Well, thanks.
So that's good. Okay. So Jeremy, let's jump right in. So why disc golf? How did this start, and how did you grow from a passion to a profit? Let's talk about that for a second. So just tell us a little bit about disc golf and how that journey started for you.
I got started as a player,
okay.
And fell in love with it, and I was an athlete, also in college.
You were running back, right? You played
back,
football,
did track as well. Didn't have a whole lot of time for disc golf initially, but then some things changed. I transferred to Emporia State University, had a little bit more time to play, and just fell even more in love with it, and then decided that it was time to buy a couple good discs, and saw the difference that those made in my game, and through some different things, thought it would be a good idea to start an eBay store, and purchased 100 discs from one of the manufacturers, put them up on eBay, sold a disc the first week, a disc the second week, and then started 2 discs a week, 3 discs a week. And today we ship out anywhere between 15 to 40,000 discs a week. So it's been quite a ride. So
what was the original disc? I mean, what was the? I mean, I'm not a savant at this. So tell me, what was some of the challenges you're running into with So tell me about the problem in the marketplace. What was the problem with the discs you were having at the time?
Well, I mean, every disc works differently for different people.
Sure.
And quite frankly, most people don't understand what's going to work for them early on. So. Ultimately, just the better the quality disc, the better flight a lot of times you're going to get. And so some of us bought some higher quality discs, and we found out real quick that those do work.
Okay.
So more of us wanted more high quality discs.
Okay. Okay. So this sport has been around about 40 years now. You were telling me a little bit, and your love for athletic. Have you been through athletics your whole life? Pretty much. You were football. Was that your bread and butter kind
football
of coming
and track.
up? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then. How did you fall into this? Was it just like a hobby? It was just like like off-season kind of thing that you got into?
Oh, one of the running backs, one of my teammates said, "Hey, let's go play disc golf." And we had a course right next in Hayes, Kansas, Frontier Park, and just went out and played with another couple guys from the team, and it was like, "Wow, this is awesome."
Okay.
But didn't have a lot of time.
So you were hooked right away?
We were hooked right away.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And it's one of the few things you can do that's free, fun. You don't got to be good at it to enjoy it.
Right.
You don't got to book a tee time. You don't got to pay for green fees, and it's a lot quicker to play. It's an average round takes about an hour and a half, so you're not investing your whole day like traditional golf, which with today's lifestyle, that's something that's very attractive to a lot of people.
Okay, so let's back up a second. So you started this, you were 22 years old, right? You've been in business 12 years?
Yes, sir.
You're now 34. Congratulations on making you get a fist bump for that. And then, so you came out of college, and talk a little bit about that, because this is very interesting. When I got to know you a little bit in the green room, though it's the white room now, the green room, we were talking about how you ended up kind of falling into this. This wasn't like, because I've been doing these interviews for some time now, and people have a vision to change the world, or there's something of a passion that's driving them to kind of, but for you, you love the sport, but then it was like, okay, I got to make a few bucks with eBay, and then it just kind of kept going, and there was no grand master plan to take over the disc golf industry or anything like that.
Not at all.
So talk a little bit about that. Like you started, and then at what point was it that you're like, this, and then your parents asked you an interesting question. What was the question they asked you when we were talking about it? Do you remember what they said?
When are you going to get a real?
When are you going to get a real job, right? Yeah, that's awesome. So at what point were they like? So what was happening around that time? You were just running and gunning, and 24/7. You ate, breathed, and slept this, and it just kind of. Say more about that. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Well, when I got done with college, I was trying to decide whether to go after my master's degree in business, and that didn't seem like that was something I really wanted to spend more time in school.
Sure.
I didn't really enjoy it that much. I don't think any of us really enjoy school that much, but it's absolutely something that is very important to do. There was substitute teaching that I knew I could do, or I could go get a real job, or I could keep plugging away at this dynamic disc thing that was starting to sell a few more things, but not enough to really justify a full-time income. And so I decided to substitute teach and keep the eBay thing and keep dynamic disc going. And there in the classroom, I hoped that the kids would have a test that I could hand to them, whatever, so that I could be answering emails and be working away on the dynamic disc thing, and still getting paid to substitute teach.
Wow.
And then that just finally it got to be to the point where it was so busy on the dynamic disc side that it was time to step away from substitute teaching. I could do dynamic disc full time, and wasn't too much after that where it was time to hire the first employee, which was actually paying somebody in discs and apparel and those kinds of things.
Oh, really? You did some trading in the beginning? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And then one of my best friends came on board and helped evolve the business from an eBay-based business into more of a e-commerce with an actual website.
Right.
eBay was starting to charge what seemed like astronomical fees, and we wanted to start shifting traffic over to our website, and so he ended up getting that going and was integral in growing the business up into what it is today. And things just kept growing, and it's been fun ever since.
It sounds like your journey is you're a man of resourcefulness and leadership. It's kind of, those are the two kind of themes. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And the leadership piece, how were you able to bring someone on board to inspire them through trading, and then you got to a staff of 2, right? Like how did you do that? What did you tell them?
I don't know.
What kind of speeches did you give in the locker room? I mean, seriously.
I wasn't. No, none of that. I don't. I absolutely believe in treating everybody with respect and with the golden rule, and I want to make sure that I'm connected to everybody. I absolutely, even with more than 50 people a day. I know everybody. I have a really good idea what they do. With new people coming on board, it's tough to keep up with. But I don't know. And just surrounding myself with really good people throughout the whole way has absolutely been one of the most important things in getting this thing going.
So let's talk more about that. So you got up to a team of 10. What year was that when the team of 10 was established?
I think that would have been like 2011.
Okay. And then now you've gone from 10 to 50.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't have enough space to hire more because you're just busting out of the seams between the warehouse and the office space and so let's where are you at now? We talked a little bit about that. You ended up buying a building, right? So share that journey a little bit, and then we'll go back to how that journey came to be for you.
So today we have 2 buildings in Emporia. One is our retail space where people can walk in and purchase whatever they want to purchase, and it's our online shipping warehouse. So if you were to go online and buy a product from us, it would ship from Emporia out of our retail store. And we also have a 20,000 square foot warehouse that is jam-packed to everything. And there's no room in there. We've got 10 shipping containers outside, and then we just rented some space across the street to carry all the inventory that we need to ship all over the world.
Wow. Amazing story. Okay. Another thing we talked about, how you began to build your business, was basically a model of community and events, right? That's part of your story with an RV. Tell us that story. Tell us how you kind of fell into that revelation of growing the business.
One of the local disc golfers at the time, Eric McCabe, he became world champion in 2010, and he was the big deal in Emporia, and he absolutely was. And so he said, hey, let's run a tournament. I was like, okay, let's do this. And I had no idea what to do. He kind of did, and some other people kind of did, and we put this event together, and we had over 100 people at it, which was just incredible at the time. And ended up, he said, let's do this down in Texas, because he had some roots in Texas, and went down to Texas and things were awesome. People came out of the woodwork for this event. They were excited for a new energetic company to come down and put on an event, and had a great time. And that was out of my grandma's minivan and Eric McCabe's truck.
Wow.
And then we finally realized, you know what, we probably should get something a little bit nicer. So was with one of my best friends and decided to start RV shopping on eBay, and we bought an RV.
That's awesome.
And today, eventually that thing broke down, and as we crossed the Kansas border one time, and it was time to upgrade from that one to another one, and then we got another RV and put it on the road full time, and then a few years later we got a third RV and put it on the road full time with the guy, and then just last year we got our fourth RV and put somebody out on the road full time, and then actually last week I just bought we bought our fifth RV.
Wow.
Here in Olathe at the RV center up there, and so we're going to have another RV, and finally one back in Emporia. We've loaned all the RVs out to other people, and so there's a lot of traveling business that happens.
So what did you do before these events? Like what was your marketing like at that point, prior to the revelation of the RV and the events and building community across the country?
Well, there was no plan.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get to. Yeah.
But having products on eBay and things would sell, and then
Sure.
you get on disc golf discussion boards and start talking and promoting things, and then believe it or not, Facebook is one of the most important things in almost probably all business today.
Yes.
In terms of getting in front of people and promoting yourself, promoting your products, and then of course all the other social media avenues are super important in today's world. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. I can't keep up with all the stuff that's going on, but that's what the media guys
So
are for.
this is what I love about your energy and your passion. You just had boldness about you. I mean, you were in your 20s doing this, right? I mean, you were just trying things, and you weren't afraid to fail. You weren't afraid to. You just kept getting, and then finally you found it, and you just rode the RV. I mean, literally, you just kept riding that gravy train, right? And I think there's so many powerful lessons in that. I mean, because sometimes I know a number of entrepreneurs that overthink a lot of stuff. And what would you tell them? What advice would you have for someone that's?
Well, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
You're not not every deal is gonna be what you thought it was gonna be.
Sure.
And just got to keep going. Keep plugging away, and know that all the success that you're gonna have, you're not gonna have. Not everything you do is gonna be exactly as you thought it was gonna be. But the more times you keep swinging the bat, I guess the more times you're gonna get on base.
We talked a little bit. Tell us about your team. Was there a mentor? Was there your team that kind of, because the times it got tough, I'm sure. I mean, It was very, very challenging. How did you deal with adversity in this 12-year journey?
As things really started growing, as we went from 10 people to 50 people, that was a time where it was like policy after policy of whatever. We're still not even really strict on it. We don't really have. We do have a handbook. We do have an HR person, but we're a very relaxed culture. We're very motivated. We're very passionate. We're hungry to do great things every day, and ultimately surrounded myself with a bunch of really good people. We would meet every week to make sure that everything that needed to be addressed we'd put things together, and it took a lot of time to get together, and it's a lot of hard work.
So how did you know they were good people, number one, and then how did you develop them along the way? As a staff, as a team, talk about that process a little bit.
Well, I mean, some of them are just my good friends.
Sure.
And a lot of them really, and we really recruited a lot of people. And today, with our 50 people, I think there are 12 out-of-state people that we recruited to come in and come to work. Wow. 18 college graduates, which actually 19 now. We just had somebody graduate from Emporia State University or Flint Hills Tech College, which is the two universities in Emporia. And a lot of people have just really grown in the company. They started out doing one thing, we promoted them to something else, and we promoted them to the next thing, and really just the company has grown along the way, and just a lot of passionate people.
So what's been the biggest challenge to date on this journey for you? What has been the biggest obstacle either you're overcoming or have overcome in the 12 years?
Well, it's, keeping up with everybody. The employees are, I think a lot of people attest that's one of the most challenging things is making sure you're taking care of everybody. I never believe that it takes money to make money at first. But as you keep growing at almost exponential rates, it's not that it necessarily takes money to make money, but it takes more money.
Takes capital to get.
Yeah, and that's been one of the biggest challenges. And then just space and its space. If you don't have space to have people work, we don't have money to build because all that money is tied up in inventory because the demand for keeping up with all the rapid growth of the business. It's just there's a lot of challenges. And then when you do make a lot of money, or if you do show big profit, you got to pay a lot of that in taxes.
Right.
And so there's a lot of challenges that we're facing every day to decide whether we can actually make the investment into a bigger warehouse and into more office space, into the inventory and the new products that we need to carry. Every day's an adventure.
Amazing.
I love it.
I'm just so impressed with your age and how you've just persevered. You've stuck in, and I keep going back to the fact it's like there is no grand plan. It's just we just keep going. That's just awesome.
So the first thing that was actually not paid for with the profits of the company was our second RV.
Okay.
And we financed that. And then when we expanded to having discs produced and bags produced, that took a lot of money to get going.
Sure.
And so I asked my uncle for money, and he gave me a $50,000 loan.
Right.
And that was kind of nerve-wracking because it was family, but I felt confident in that. And then realized we needed money from the bank to support carrying the inventory for the discs.
Right.
And brought one of the banks in, and they kind of didn't seem to think that there was something there with disc golf, and then I was kind of beat up a little bit about that, I guess you could say, but then brought another bank in, and they took a look, and they were all excited about what was going on in disc golf and just what they saw disc golf doing and what I saw disc golf doing, and got a $100,000 loan from them. Thought we'd never need any more money than that.
Wow.
It wasn't too much longer than that. Then it was $200,000, and then it was $400,000, and it just keeps going.
That's awesome. That's awesome. One of your promos, you talked about not taking a paycheck for a couple. Was it a couple years?
It was a long time.
You didn't take a paycheck, right?
Correct.
Oh my gosh! So, talk about that a little bit. What?
November 2013.
Was the first paycheck?
First check.
Really? Since 2005?
Yeah. Now Well, I still got the check framed. It's a pretty cool deal.
You still got
The funny thing about it, so that was when the accountant said we expanded into basically manufacturing to have bags, discs, baskets, everything disc golf, and so we opened up the distribution center, and it's actually called Dynamic Distribution, which is a separate entity of Dynamic Discs, but we're really the same thing.
Right.
And my CPA and accountant said you have to take a check.
Wow. Wow.
I'm like, well, how much? Because my wife, I've been very fortunate, and my wife, she's a nuclear chemist at Wolf Creek. They pay a lot of money out there. I guess her salary is very good. It supports both of us, and we didn't need that. And I've been living very frugal, I guess, myself. Started out in the 94 Explorer. I got that in 1998, and it was 3 years ago where I just finally let go of that thing.
I'm so proud of you.
It actually broke down here.
That's awesome. You broke down, had a tear, I'm sure.
Parallel road and coming home from the airport from a trip from Sweden.
Yeah. Wow.
But it's still in the back of the warehouse. And
okay.
There's still plenty of good memories out of that. So.
I love it. I love it. So, okay. What's the one thing you decided to focus on, whether it be a practice, a cultural value, a work ethic early on, that's helped sustain your fan base and also the following, the people that are purchasing your products right now? What would you say kind of the secret sauce is as far as that goes when it comes to your company? What's the foundation you built your company on?
Taking care of our customers.
Okay.
Hands down, without a doubt.
Okay.
Somebody has a problem, we take care of it. We make mistakes, no doubt about it. Everybody makes mistakes.
Sure.
And as long as the customer lets us know, we make it right every time. And so there's, now with Facebook, it seems like everybody has a voice.
Yeah.
And
so how are you handling social? How do you handle the negativity with social media? People are not happy, they're upset. How do you address
We
that?
pretty much address things head on.
Okay.
You know, it seems like people make a big deal out of nothing,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
And now there's plenty of praise and plenty of great things that are happening too.
Sure.
But
Sure.
we just address it. We are ourselves. We're people. We're good people, and we answer people's concerns and questions and bad feedback and good feedback, and ultimately take care of our customers, and we take care of our staff, and hopefully everything falls into place. And up to this point, it has.
That's great. So Facebook, is that kind of the focus right now? Is that where you're in those meetings, those strategy meetings, figuring out how to best leverage that, or?
No, not necessarily. I mean, we have a media team.
Okay.
And they
They
handle a
take care
lot
of
of
all that.
that.
Okay.
But we also, as a collective group, there's a lot of us that monitor what goes on in there. But that's just keeping up with the industry, really.
Okay.
But it's amazing how much stuff revolves around Facebook, and it's really brought the disc golf community together.
Yeah.
And I would say that it's brought a lot more than that together worldwide.
So how are you, primarily your team with the marketing? I'm curious, what's the breakdown? Is it mostly word of mouth? How are you getting how's your brand getting out there? Is it the RV still? That's the number one driver of traffic. Is it word of mouth? Is it Facebook? Is it what?
Everything.
Everything. Okay. Okay.
If you type in disc golf on the internet, we want to make sure that Dynamic Disc shows
Is
up.
number one. Okay.
And sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Depends on whether we ran out of money for the day, I guess,
Sure,
or not.
sure.
And
So you mean on Google, the number one search engine on Google?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Of course, we want to be there ourselves in the regular search, not just in the paid advertisements. But it's a combination of everything. Word of mouth, of course, is a big deal. Being in the advertising on Facebook and Instagram and all those places, being involved with the tournaments across the country, where we sponsor hundreds of tournaments a year. And Dynamic Discs, we have over 80 sponsored players that are out there representing us. And Latitude 64, who produces our discs, they sponsor over 100 players. And then Westside Discs, which is a company that we both recently just purchased, sponsors over 30 players. So there's a lot of players that are out there. And then the RVs are just rolling billboards, and the RV drivers, the RV road warriors, they go from city to city to city, and they promote disc golf and dynamic discs, and it's really cool to see what they do and the interactions they have with people out there.
So you got five trucks, so five guys are kind of the event. I don't know, what do you call them? What's their position? What's their title with your company?
RV
The
road warriors.
Yeah, the road warriors. Okay. So what, they pull up and then they have a camera crew with them, and it's kind of like taking footage, or it's just set up the tournaments, shake hands, and then,
set up, promote dynamic discs, promote the product. Our initial focus with it was to host big events, and we'd bring in 100 to 200 people at these events, and we still do that, but we also still now we sometimes just show up, and we hope for 30, 40, 50 players to come in and try a couple of our products. And since we're such a new brand to the game, with only having discs since 2012, a lot of people still haven't even tried our stuff.
How many? Who are kind of your? You don't have to name names. How many competitors are you competing with in right now in your space?
There are over 30 disc golf manufacturers.
Oh gosh!
Yeah,
wow.
And the number one in terms of revenue and size has been around, based out of California, is. Been around for over 35 years. We believe that we've taken the number 2 spot in the disc golf industry, and we believe that we took over the number 2 spot from somebody who had been there for about 35 years as well.
Congratulations.
There's about 5 companies that are, thank you, there's about 5 companies that are very competitive and do invest a lot of money into the whole entire sport and the people and everything, but there's a lot of companies that are trying to get their brands going. It's a very tough, competitive market for sure.
So how do you differentiate it from the number one company, but we won't name? That's no. How are you competing against those guys? How does that with the market share?
Customer service, our people, our passion, our products are just top notch, and that's a lot of it.
Interesting.
It's fun.
So the demographics, just so I'm understanding more of your industry and your business, how many of your you may not know the exact numbers, but percentages as far as like millennials versus People that maybe are a bit older generation or up and coming from the younger is I don't know what we're on now.
Disc golf, I don't either.
So,
I don't either. Disc golf is definitely for all ages. I mean, you'll see 6-year-olds out there playing, and you'll see 70, 80-year-olds out there playing. But the majority of the players do fall in the 20 to 40 category.
Okay.
But and it's just a bell curve that. There's a lot of people playing, and a lot of new people every day at our retail stores. It's new people. And if you were to take an online survey, half the people that would take the survey would say they've only been playing for 1 to 2 years. The sport is just taking off, and it's not going to slow down anytime soon. We had over 1,500 courses installed last year alone.
Wow. Across the country?
6,000 courses approximately in the United States right now.
Wow.
There's 15,000 ball golf courses, traditional ball golf courses. Every other day a ball golf course seems to shut down right now, and we're having basically 4 disc golf courses installed in the United States.
Is the Parks and Services, the rec, are they installing those? Is that how that works?
It can be private individuals. It can be a lot of parks,
a
lot of recreation. There's churches, there's camps, there's colleges. It's all over the place.
So you brought some goodies. Maybe we can.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got there.
Oh man, I got.
Little shameless product placement during our interview here.
So this is this was one of our first bags we came out with.
Okay.
Which is basically the high-end, upper-level tournament competitive bag, and this is one of our most popular bags on the market.
Okay.
And then, essentially, people are constantly just surprised of how much complexity there is in disc golf. So there's drivers, there's putters, there's mid-ranges, discs that fly straight, discs that fly, I'm trying to figure out which ones are good to show here. Discs that fly straight, right, left.
Oh, Captain America one.
Yes, so we do have licensing.
Very, very cool.
With Marvel, and
what's
that's
this one called?
A fun project.
Is this the Steve Rogers disc right here?
That is the EMAC Truth. So the first guy, I mentioned Eric McCabe earlier, winning the world title, and the first guy to help encourage events to go. Still with us today. He's responsible for course design. We have a disc that specifically has his name on it.
Nice.
And that's him. This is his original one. That's him right there. So
Truth.
The great thing about disc golf is it is so cheap to get started.
Mm-hmm.
You can get started with one disc for like $8 brand new, or you can find a used disc for like $2 like I did. Remember that frugalness, right?
I remember the frugalness, that's right.
So I got started by buying a $2 disc. And the funny thing is, though, once you get going, you buy the $175 bag, you buy the $15 discs, but to get started, it really takes nothing. And these discs have been in my bag they last forever.
That's awesome.
Until you lose them or throw them in the water.
So what do you love most about being in business today? What you do? What do you love about it?
Oh man, I love so much about it.
What do you love the most? You got to pick one. What would be the most enjoyable part of your life with business?
The one thing that I really like is that every day is something new.
Okay.
But I really love interacting with all of the staff, all the people. Like, just if you surround yourself by good people, it's just
makes it a lot easier.
Life is good.
It's good.
And very fortunate, very blessed to have a lot.
Say that again. When you surround yourself with good people. Say it again. Life is good.
Life is good.
That's good words right there. It's powerful words, especially for those that are maybe watching this, if solopreneurs. What advice would you give to people that are just starting? Maybe when you just first started on eBay, what would you recommend? What would be your number one secret to help people along to get from point A to point Z in their journey?
Oof. Everything is situational.
Everything's situational?
Man, I don't take care
Spoken like a true running back right there, right?
Yeah. Take care of your customers, take care of your people.
So have that core value. That's what you really got to know what the core value is.
Start out slow too. Start out slow until you really know and understand. And I remember early on, some of my friends say, "Hey, you need money, you need investors," and I was like, I don't know what I would do with more money, and I truly didn't.
Sure.
And now today, we need a lot of money because it takes a lot of money to make this machine stay in motion.
Right.
And it's fun. It's good.
That's good. So, okay, I think I'll close with this. What's been your greatest, in your mind, and I could probably have about 100 people that would have their own version of this. But what's been your greatest success so far? I mean, to this point, 12 years in, what you really hanging your hat on with this?
Jeez. You should have asked me that one.
You like that? Yeah, I should have asked that early on, right?
I don't, I mean, there's just so many wins, so many successes. I love seeing when the staff, somebody pulls up in a new car. Somebody's able to buy a new house. Actually, had one of our head of accounting. He moved in from Tennessee. Today is his 4-year anniversary, and just last week he got accepted. The offer on a house got accepted, and he and his wife are going to call Emporia home for hopefully for as long as Dynamic Disc is around. And those, I feel like those are the successes and the wins, is when we're growing as a company, but also the individuals that are doing things to help us grow are able to buy a new house, buy a new car, take care of their family, and I think that's what it's all about.
There's no I in team, right?
Correct.
What's interesting, you sell products for an individual sport. Is it individual disc golfing?
Yeah,
pretty much just one person, you and the.
Yeah.
What is the thing? What is that even called? The hole. What is that?
Keep going.
When you get when you get it into the hole, is that what it is, or the basket?
Basket. There you go.
Basket.
Yeah.
And you've built an empire of helping individual players, but yet you don't care about any of that individual stuff. It's not even. And what you said was it was about your team and your family, pretty much. I would imagine your brothers and sisters. That when they win, you win, and that's awesome. That's really and you've got that at 34 years old. I mean, the world is yours at this point.
Well, let's not go there.
Well, I'm saying in the world of disc golfing, the world of entrepreneurialism, what you've accomplished, and you're not even 40 years old yet. That's pretty spectacular. And this has been an absolutely phenomenal time getting to know you, Jeremy. Let's give him a round of applause for this young man. And with that, we will be right back.